Hello, I'm FXToyCat, and a brand new Bedrock beta just released, and although it fixes the most confusing bug and introduces the most beautiful feature, it doesn't answer the question of where the new Minecraft update actually is. Oh, and Minecraft Legends just got what Mojang are calling the biggest update yet, so we have to go into that too, but first things first, the new 1.20.60 beta. This is a beta with one big headline feature as far as many people are concerned. However, despite that being true, if you take a closer look, you'll realize very quickly there's actually a lot more going on here, and let's talk about exactly what that is. First things first, wow, the copper grate bug has finally been fixed. You might not have known this, but trying to wax a copper grate previously would turn it into a copper block. Now trying to do so will just make it go oddly non-transparent, which is a very interesting feature because you can now scrape that off and make it transparent again. I'm sure this is a rendering bug. I'm sure something has gone wrong in my particular version of the game, but the thing that hasn't gone wrong is the fact that now copper grates are able to store water inside of them, which is pretty great in my opinion. I figured Minecraft could do something unique and make it so that water could go through these blocks, unlike most other solid blocks, but I kind of like this as an alternative of like, well, you can still do interesting things, make your own fun chambers with this. Also, something interesting that you can do is obviously, outside of, I don't know, like making them into weird stuff, also something fun that you can do is you can turn your cut copper into chiseled copper directly now. It used to be you had to make regular copper into chiseled copper, but that is a bug that has been fixed in this update. Also, you know, there's a lot of weird things in this version of the game right now, but what I will say outside of how weird this is something you might not have noticed about this update, which is the fact that it includes a fix to campfires that I genuinely did not know was even a bug until just now. So this is something fun. When you break a campfire, you are only ever meant to get 2 charcoal in return, but for a while now, you've been getting 4. This is something that has been fixed, and now you get 2 again, making campfires not objectively the best way to turn your wood into charcoal. Very, very interesting, especially for super flat players where that has been very handy. It still will be handy, just about half as much if you ask me. Speaking of only half as handy, here's something that I would say is actually more handy. Let's put on some Silk Touch boots and do something fun, which is make frosted ice. You can mine frosted ice with Silk Touch, as you might have known. However, if you do so, you would actually get water back before, and now you get precisely nothing. This actually is an upgrade because it means that if you want to remove, your frosted glass from your frosted ice from the world, you can do so much better. This actually has an impact on big projects, and so when 1.20.60 releases, it might actually help my ability to do weird mining of water projects, because mining water is so much easier than replacing it, in my opinion. Speaking of things that are easier than replacing, you might find it easier, by the way, also when you break that frosted glass, or frosted ice, sorry, you also will make a skulk impact sound. Also something interesting that has changed that you might not have known about till just now is the fact that if we jump right down here, they have boosted, for vanilla parity reasons, the amount of ore you get when you mine a lapis lazuli or a nether gold ore. To show you what that looks like, let's grab a fortune free pickaxe. So right now, the number of lapis that you can get with fortune free goes up from 8 to 9, basically. It's a small thing, but it's a big one. And if you have fortune free on, it goes up to this number. And the same is true for nether gold. It is a small boost based on whether you have fortune or not, but personally, I love how much more you get. Look how many little nuggets are coming out of this. It is still more mathematically worthwhile just to throw this in a smelter, in my opinion, but I love the fact that they're bringing parity when it's good stuff. This is what I'm talking about, Mojang, where this is what the whole community means when we say, if you want to bring parity between Bedrock and Java, make it the better of the 2 platforms and everyone will be happy. Very few people will complain that you give them more lapis lazuli ore when you break a block, and that's much more important than any redstone, parity issues or other, grass-based changes that you can bring into the game that do nothing but ruin people's experiences. And I do have to say, on a non-negative note, I like this change. Very, very, very good. Speaking of very, very good, that is how most people would describe the other big feature in this beta, which is a very technical one, but to third, technical lighting is a bit basic. Just look at these screenshots right here, and believe me when I say that this is something Minecraft can, by default, do. Look at this one too. This creeper shot is so beautiful, and a million people have started coming out saying, wow, Mojang has done something incredible, and this is something that is great for people who work on add-ons. If you are making an add-on, if you want to make an RTX pack or anything like that, now you have the ability to have much better control over lighting. This is a cool technical feature, and although you as the user can't experience it right now, even in the beta, because again, people have to play around and do stuff with it, the fact that this is possible means that you'll be seeing some beautiful things soon. And indeed, this is something that Minecraft is very big on the Bedrock version. I think there's some debate as to to why. I mean, obviously, Minecraft Bedrock add-ons have a big incentive compared to Java ones because of how they can be bundled into worlds and stuff, but that's something that will presumably become controversial in the not-too-distant future. Speaking of things that aren't too controversial in the not-too-distant future, I think it's worth mentioning that although this is a very great beta, it's not the update that you came here for. Indeed, it's not the update we've been expecting for a while, because I think I speak for the whole community when I say, yeah, Legends update! I'm of course kidding there a little bit, because Mojang tends to release all of their big things on Wednesdays. They release snapshots, they release betas and previews, and so as part of my job, which is covering updates, I need to make sure that I'm specifically home on Wednesdays, and so I had a big trip that I specifically cut short, made sure that I could get home for about 3-4 p.m. on Wednesday so I could see any preview, any beta, and at the time I was imagining like, oh, we're gonna see some new key thing in a snapshot, even if it's just a small snapshot, it's always worth looking at, right? And so I get home, and on the train home I see, nope, there's no snapshot today, but instead Minecraft has something much better. They have decided to release Minecraft Legends' biggest update. They say that the biggest update has arrived. Hop in with the fearless frog and lead the potion-wielding witches, meet the clanger, a stunningly loud piglin, and tread carefully near the air chopper. This is the biggest update to the game yet, and honestly, this is Minecraft's big attempt to revive it, you might say. However, I think when you actually take a closer look at the feature, you realize that, yeah, the witch is a new type of enemy. That's real fun, and you can build a cauldron to give a little bit of a buff, and there's a brand new friend that you can see, as well as, indeed, there is a brand new enemy you can fight, a couple of them in fact, but by itself, this sounds very exciting, but what does it really do? I think the thing that actually is exciting in this is in the niche changelog. So there's new custom game settings that you can set up, there are improvements to pathfinding, there's better RTS combat balancing, they're trying to make it more of a strategy game, which is something a lot of people start to feel about, and PvP updates and improvements. Will this revive Minecraft Legends? Honestly, I love the idea that it would, but I am very cynical, and I will say that getting people back into the game, and largely speaking, getting more people into the game, isn't something I see coming from this, but instead seeing the people who are already playing the game be a little bit happier is something that is good news, and is why we'll be very quickly moving on from this segment, as someone who very much wants to like Minecraft Legends, but just can't find themselves picking up the game. It's a real sad thing. I can play hours of Minecraft, I get really excited still, but when I try to load up Minecraft Legends, I'm like, I'm feeling real, I just wanna, I'm just so tired, can we do this tomorrow instead, maybe? I think I'd just much rather talk about the 1.20.50 update, which I think we are all excited for. If you play Minecraft Bedrock, why are you excited for it? Thank you for asking. I think that outside of just being excited for new Minecraft updates that bring in minor adjustments and features, I think the Minecraft monthly updates that they do on Bedrock actually are quite exciting sometimes. This is a medium monthly update that actually has a brand new feature inside of it, and what is that brand new feature? The ability to store things inside of pots. This is something that is quite crucial for the 1.21 update, because obviously you'll be able to use it for all sorts of fun things there, but yeah, the fact is you will be able to store things in pots, and so actually getting a brand new feature, very, very, very exciting. It's very silly looking in my opinion, but I love to see genuine improvements. It's not the only thing come to the decorated pot, but to simplify, the decorated pot is getting a massive, massive improvement alongside some big changes to how mobs will work, and it's something I dive into a lot on this channel. Something I used to think was that these, bug fix updates were basically just fixing bugs, and that's all you needed to say. However, in the Minecraft Bedrock days, something they do a lot better, if I'm being 100% honest, than the 4J guys, is actually these small bug fix updates usually make big, genuine improvements to your quality of life. If you play Minecraft Bedrock, I can guarantee that your quality of play will improve after 1.20.50 for a bunch of reasons inside of it, and so something I've been making the conscious effort to do is to make sure I learn exactly what's inside of these, and again, I just want to say that based on what I see inside of this one, based on the improvements they've made, if you're an Xbox player, if you're someone who has been annoyed by mobs attacking you in distances they shouldn't, or even if you're just someone who plays the game and notices that pots are not as cool as they can be, there are big improvements coming, and I don't know why they're not out yet, because this is the missing Minecraft Bedrock update. What do I mean when I say that? Well, Minecraft 1.20.50 finished previews on November the 8th. Usually there is at least a week gap between the final preview of an update, that is the version that is experimental and which they're testing for bugs in, and the version which actually hits the public. This is because certification for all of those platforms does take some time, and doing it in less than a week is possible, but not really that heard of in a general scale. It's not what they aim for, and so after November the 8th, you would expect that the earliest the update could come out was Tuesday the 14th, because they tend to release updates that time, but more realistically, the 21st of November looked like the release date. However, that week was American Thanksgiving, and a very decent number of Mojang employees are based in the United States, and so obviously there is no update releasing that week, no snapshot releasing that week, and indeed lots of other things were kind of put on hold, meaning that this update, which could have been ready to release, was most likely going to be moved until this Tuesday. And then this Tuesday rolls around, and yesterday you might have noticed your game did not receive an update, you do not have fun pots. And so here is the big question: what happened to that update? It finished previews and betas 3 weeks ago, and in the time since, we've seen not just a couple of 1.20.60 betas, but we saw one literally this week with quite a major new feature if you're an add-on creator, so they are still releasing things, the team is working, it's just something has gone slightly wrong. What is that something? Well, I would say there's a couple of easy theories. One of those is that they're just not going to release this update, they might bundle it into the next one, they skipped the 1.20.20 update, if I'm not mistaken, and so they might do the same again with 1.20.50. It's not unheard of for Minecraft Bedrock to just skip an update and wait for the next one. It's also not impossible that it failed certification, and it's also not entirely impossible that they just think a December release date is the best time to release something, although I would say it's unlikely that a minor update, i.e. not a big version number with the big trailers, is likely to result in many more sales or people buying Minecraft DLC, and so that raises the question again: what has happened to this update? The answer is we don't know. The best case scenario is tomorrow there's a brand new update, and the worst case scenario is we wait all the way till December. Which do you think is more likely? I would love to know. In case you would like to know what I've just been up to and where I came back from, I went to Gibraltar and the south of Spain, and it was absolutely fascinating to just see orange trees everywhere. Like on every street there's orange trees, at the airport there's orange trees. It was just a weird little thing, and yeah, I really like going to Gibraltar, partially because I think I'm just a weird person who likes to go places that people don't usually go, and Gibraltar absolutely satisfied that itch. There were monkeys everywhere. It was a strange time. But speaking of strange times, you might want to check out my strange new series that are going to be quick dives. I wanted to have a real nice, simple, short series for condensed, kind of hard to explain topics that you can hopefully share with friends or anyone else who needs to know complicated answers to things like, why does Minecraft release free updates? How does world generation work? Etc, etc. The first one came out yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll be releasing a few more of those, and hopefully that's the answer to people who say that I make these videos artificially long. I do a lot to try and shorten them when I can, and I hope that you appreciate that, or maybe I hope that you appreciate your life, because every day is precious, and one day we'll all die. Buy the mugs now on ibxtoycat.store. Look at me, doing promotion. I'm a great YouTuber. Goodbye.